Hey guys, so today is Tuesday, April 3rd, 2012, and look at here, my grass is pretty tall. This is all nut grass over here. Boy, it's really tall. So it's been 2 weeks since I last cut my grass out here in the backyard. It's looking really nice. The St. Augustine along here is starting to look almost fully grown. It's looking really good. St. Augustine's starting to come up along here. There's still a lot of nut grass over here and weeds, but it's looking really good. Alright, so I thought I'd make this video. I'm going to do a review video on my Echo SRM 225. So I thought I'd try and make this video before it starts to rain. The sun is sort of coming out along here, but just west of us there is rain. When I checked the radar, it looked like that it was raining over in Fort Worth. My dad's tomato plant is doing really good. He's been keeping it watered up real good. Looks like at this point we don't have to really worry about watering it because it's supposed to rain. The leaves here on our maple tree are fully grown. The leaves are now starting to come up on our pecan tree. Alright, so enough of all that. Alright, so here is my Echo SRM 225, as you see right there. So I've had this trimmer for almost 2 years now. I bought it in late July of 2010. So reason on why I'm actually making this review video, just recently, see, Home Depot, usually around this time every year, Home Depot has on what they call a Friday, Black Friday sale. You used to get this trimmer for $219, but since on their Black Friday sale, you can get them for $199. So, which I think that is definitely a good price for these. So, if any of y'all are looking for a new string trimmer, a straight shaft especially, get an Echo SRM 225 for $199 at Home Depot or at your local Echo dealer too. I think you can also get them at your Echo dealer for $199 too, but I think only for a limited time only. So I would just buy it just as soon as they begin to bring the prices back to $219. Which I paid $219 for this, let's see, 2 years ago, which a price like that for just a straight shaft trimmer like this, it's not too bad. It's definitely a good trimmer to have for a homeowner. Or if you want just a curved shaft trimmer, you can get a GT 225. Uses the same exact engine that's on the SRM 225, but just a curved shaft. I think you can get those for $159 at Home Depot or an Echo dealer. So just flip this over and look at the specs on it. Here we go. So there's all the specs. So it's a 21.2 cc engine, you see right there. So this particular one was built in July of 2010. And so this has a Zama, an RB series carburetor that has no adjustment screws on it. kind of look if you could see the model number on the carburetor. Yeah, it's an RB series. Yeah, the model number on it right there, you can't really see it. It's K93. Some people don't like the emission carburetors, but to me they don't really bother. I don't really mind them because I've not had any carburetor problems though. So yeah. So Echo has made these engines for a very long time. 21.2 cc's. Yeah, they've used them for a long time. See, my aunt, as I may have showed her older Echo trimmer over at her country place over on the Brazos River. I think hers is a SRM 2100. It didn't have the model number on the front of it, kind of like what you would see on my dad's SRM 2400 SB, like you would see on it, which it's still on it. Yeah, it would have it right there. Yeah, I think my aunt's trimmer is a SRM 2100, which is actually the older version of the SRM 225. But the only differences between the 2100 and the 225 is that see, the 2100 doesn't have a very comfy handle grip, kind of like this. It's kind of most likely like you'd see on the here on the SRM 2400 SB. It's just like kind of like that. And see, also the SRM 2100 uses a much different carburetor than this one. The SRM 2100 has adjustment screws on its carburetor, whereas this one doesn't. But both the 2100 and 225, they both use the exact same engines on them too. And they both use this exact same type of handle, and also the same cutting shield. Well, actually on the newer 2100s. Let's see, on the older SRM 225s from 2009 and 2010, see, it uses the Echo U-turn trimmer head, whereas the ones from 2011 and then now, they use a speed feed head, like what you'd see here on my PAS 230. See, that's a speed feed head, which I really like those speed feed heads. The only downside with the speed feed heads, see, they don't hold as much string as the Echo U-turn heads. But I find that loading string on the speed feed head is a little bit easier than the U-turn heads. The U-turn heads, loading string on it is apparently quite similar to the speed feed heads, but except that the U-turn head, it'll hold a lot more string. This will hold about 24 feet of string versus the speed feed head, where it'll hold about 10 feet. Some of them will hold about 15 feet. But on these, I only put in about maybe 20 feet or 15 feet of string, because I find if you put maybe 24 feet of string, because sometimes if you put a little too much, sometimes the string tends to jam up on one another. That's one of the things I don't like about the U-turn heads. You'd have to take it all off and then have to restring it. So, and one thing that my aunt's older SRM 2100 does not have is the i30. The i30 recoil starter. You can only requires 30% less effort to start them. Now the SRM 2100, apparently it got replaced by the SRM 210, which the only difference on with the SRM 210 and the 2100, see, just like the 225, like you see here, uses these Zama RB series carburetors. And now the difference between the 210 and the 225, there's not much of a difference, just a much different look. And then these type of handles on them, I think they took these were originally meant for the SRM 265. So yeah. Now there's one model that apparently they can only find at an Echo dealer, that's called the SRM 225i. The only difference with it is that it has like an i75 starter. It requires 75% less effort to start them. You only just give it, with them, you only give it a slow pull, kind of like this, and that'll start the engine. But to me, the i30 recoil starter, it's good enough. It pulls over very easy, as I can just show you right here. I can pull it like this slow and I can actually start the engine. So yeah. So without further ado, we'll do a little cold start on it. Looks like, yeah, I better hurry up here because it's gonna rain. I think I'm starting to hear some thunder anyways. So let's see how it starts. This thing hadn't ran since last week, so let's turn it on. Put it on choke. I'm going to give it about 5 primes. Alright. I'm going to set you down on the tripod. Then we'll see how it starts. How about that? Oh yeah, she's still running good after having it for almost 2 years. And just like all Echo trimmers, see they have clutches on them, so see this won't turn unless you rev up the engine, as you can see right here. And one thing that I do like about these newer Echoes, I like these safety triggers. Which I know there's some people that don't like these safety triggers, but I like them. Makes it a lot safer though that way. See, you can't squeeze the throttle. See, as you can see as I'm trying to actually squeeze it. Then once I press this down, see, now you can squeeze the throttle. So yeah. So like some of my previous videos, I'll show you on how easy starting this thing is. I'll just pull it one-handed. Just try and give it a very slow pull. Alright, I'll show you that one more time. Just, you can see I can't rev it. Gotta just press that down. Alright guys, so this is my little review on the Echo SRM 225. This is probably Echo's best-selling straight shaft trimmer, and if not their most popular straight shaft trimmer. So yeah, definitely a great trimmer from Echo. So probably tomorrow I'll do the lawn cutting video where I'm gonna do the trimming, edging, and blowing with the PAS 230, and I'm gonna cut the grass with the Lawn Boy 8461 commercial. Alright guys, so I'm gonna get in the house because it is starting to rain. So hope y'all enjoyed the video. So thanks for watching.